Republican Louisiana, of course, House Majority Whip. This man has been through so much this year. But I would think at year's end, pretty happy about this development here. How soon do you know, Congressman, the president will be signing this?
Well, Neil, happy days are here again. You're going to see the president sign this bill in the next few days, and you're already seeing the benefit that so many millions of workers are going to be seeing that have been wanting this kind of relief. And it's not just about cutting taxes to put more money in their pockets, which is going to be important, but as you see now, there's true competition going on where AT&T started at $1,000 for over 200,000 workers, and there's more to come. You're going to see, I think, more and more companies every day announcing these kind of benefits to workers because there's an increased value in workers. They're going to see increased paychecks. This is what we said was going to happen, but it is already happening before the bill's even signed into law.
So you want to see, obviously, more of this type of thing. Obviously, companies can spend this tax largesse any way they want to. Not only are their rates going down dramatically, they get the benefit of a one-time low tax on their monies held abroad, I think about 15.6%, take advantage of that. And if they follow what some of these other companies like AT&T and Wells Fargo are doing, there could be a double benefit. Is it your hope and expectation that most companies do what these are?
You're going to see a lot more of this, Neil. You're seeing companies invest in their workers. They're also investing billions of dollars in new infrastructure, and you're going to see that in every sector of our economy. It's going to ripple through to the guy that works at AT&T who's maybe laying fiber optic cable throughout more communities, more broadband going to rural communities. This is the benefit that you're going to see, not just, again, in your paychecks, not only when you do your taxes. You're going to pay less in taxes now, but you're also going to be seeing more jobs created. A lot of those jobs that left America that we complained about for so long, in our bill we did something about it. We made our country competitive again, so we're going to see those jobs come back to America.
You know, a lot has been made of the timing, as I said at the outset, sir, with the president signing of this. There are some who are spooked by the idea of holding off on that signature because anything could happen. Do you hope that, as some have said, the president signs this tomorrow before he leaves for vacation and doesn't wait until next week or even the new year?
Well, look, I'm glad after this long debate over this bill, people now realize how good it is, so much so that they want it to be signed sooner. Look, President Trump had a great celebration at the White House yesterday where he started the process of letting people know about this bill. Because if you're just reading about it in your local newspaper, you're probably hearing a lot of this kind of boogeyman Frankenstein foolishness from the left who are scared to death of people getting more of their money back. But once people start seeing that money come back in their paychecks and they see bigger paychecks at their office, they're going to actually realize how good of a bill this is. So, as soon as President Trump wants to sign it, I'm just excited. We have a president who wants to sign this bill and who helped us get to this point. We would not be at this point without the leadership of President Donald Trump, Vice President Pence. Their whole team at the White House has been great in helping us get that bill to his desk. And when he signs it, it's going to be an even bigger celebration for families and workers in the middle class who have been crying for this kind of relief for generations.
You have heard, obviously, Congressman, about those who argued that this is just a giveaway to the rich, to fat cats, what have you, and that disproportionately so, and that people, even the middle class who do see the relief and that pops up in their paychecks, I guess in February sometime, will be disappointed that they don't net more, that for many of them, whether they're paid every 2 weeks or 1 week, maybe 40, 50 bucks, and that won't move the needle. What do you say?
That's all that the left has when these elite, liberal, out-of-touch people in Washington say they don't want you to have more of your paycheck. They just yell tax cuts for the rich. Well, all of a sudden, that worker at AT&T that just got $1,000 back, who's maybe living paycheck to paycheck, is saying, I'm not the rich, and I just got a big bonus that's going to help me go buy more Christmas presents for my kids. What do you tell that worker who now is going to get that money back in his pocket? Their argument falls flat.
What do you think of those who are in those high tax states, though, sir, especially those? Like I'm in New Jersey, and a lot of people in my state are very concerned, whether they're wealthy or not, that even the double in the deduction, all of that, isn't going to compensate for losing what used to be write-offs for their state local taxes and property taxes that are well in excess of the $10,000 that's been allowed.
Yes. And Neil, even in those high tax states like New York, New Jersey, California, Illinois, whatever state you might be in, every single rate comes down. And we've run the numbers in a lot of those states, by the way, Neil, and with our tax cuts, by reducing every tax rate, doubling the standard deduction, Every single income bracket in almost every congressional district sees their tax rates go down in every single income bracket, even with that SALT deduction going away in high tax states. So you're going to see a huge benefit to middle class families, to everybody who pays taxes. They're going to see a tax cut.
And for those
in their
few,
income
they might be
taxes.
few, who don't. What do you tell them?
What I tell them is look at all the other income tax cuts that are coming for everybody. Look at how our economy is going to take off and how that's going to help them. But also look to your local state. And if your state's raising taxes on you at such a high level that the only way to equalize it is by saying, please have the federal government deduct every dime of it, now they're going to go back to Albany. They're going to go back to Trenton, and they're going to say, you need to lower our taxes too because it really worked at the federal level. Now you need to lower our taxes because those taxes are too high. Let's have that national debate, Neil.
Okay. Obviously, a lot of people say that a lot of things changed in getting this tax cut done, not the least of which is you returning after your close brush with death and that assassination attempt. The fact of the matter is that it did galvanize a lot of the troops. In fact, the president has become quite fond of you, and I did notice that yesterday at the big event on the South Lawn of the White House. I want to go back to a comment he made and what you thought of it. This is from yesterday.
Steve Scalise, he's braver than all of us. He's braver. Where is he? Oh boy, I don't know. He had a rougher year than most of us, but it's a hell of a way to lose weight, Steve. You said you lost it. It's not a good way. We love you, Steve. Great job. Great job.
It was a hell of a way to lose weight. How are you feeling now?
I'm feeling great, Neil. Look, the president came to see me in my darkest days. When I was in the hospital those first few hours, the president and Melania Trump came and really consoled my wife. I was unconscious, just being, fighting for my life. But my wife was really dealing with some tough times right then when we weren't sure if I was going to make it. And to have the president come personally to the hospital with the First Lady, it meant so much to my wife, to my family. And then he called every step of the way. And look, I lost 50 pounds from the day I walked into the hospital till about a month later.
Wow.
I'm trying to get some of it back, and I'm building a lot of my strength back. But to have such support from my colleagues here, Republican and Democrat, and the warm wishes of family and friends back home, but even prayers from people I never met before, I can't say thanks enough to all the people who helped me get to this point, who prayed for me. God has been great to me. We have a lot to be thankful for this Christmas. But what an exciting time to come back to work and be a part of this, Neil. It's really, it's been invigorating and exciting to be a part of.
I know you were asked a lot of maybe dopey, emotional type questions like this, Congressman, but did it change you and change your approach to even the tax cut? There was talk at least, that you were very insistent on making sure that average folks were part of this tax cut, that if some in the upper income, the top 1%ers, were going to end up paying more taxes, that while you felt bad for them, you felt more of a kinship with middle and lower class people who you did want to see get something, and that was buoyed a lot by your brush with death.
Well, when you have that kind of experience that I had, I don't wish it upon anybody, but it really does galvanize and refocus you on the things that are important in life, and my family was at the forefront. But just the things that you love doing, and I love doing a lot of things back home in New Orleans and hunting and fishing, and I've gotten to do that again. Went hunting, duck hunting with my son for the first time just last weekend. But to come back to work, I love this job. I love fighting for the people that I represent in Southeast Louisiana, and just the things that we wanted to do to get our country back on track and restore the American dream. I knew it was right in front of us when I was fighting to get out of the hospital in August and finally in September, and I knew that we were going to be able to have this opportunity, but if we didn't put it together, it wouldn't happen. I've been through 8 years under Barack Obama where our country was going in the wrong direction, and frankly, a lot of us felt that we were losing the American dream, and we needed to fight to get it back, and we had a president who wanted to do this. So I knew we only had maybe one moment to get this right, and if we didn't get it right, I think you would have easily been able to say this Congress was not a success at all, maybe a failure. But instead we did it. We said we were not, failure wasn't going to be an option. And we stayed to get it done. And we came together. You saw a lot of uniting and taking a lot of criticism from people who didn't even read the bill, but ultimately who now realize how good it's going to be for the country. And to rebuild that middle class, Neil, I talk to people every day who are just struggling to get by, and now they're going to have real opportunity because of what we did with this Tax Cuts and Jobs Act.
All right. Well, you've had incredible perseverance, a good attitude, and it didn't hurt to have a great sense of humor. But
Oh,
that's
you gotta
I think
laugh in
that's
life.
I think that's the Italian. All right, but
Yes.
anyway, sir, very good to see you and have a Merry Christmas.
Great to see you.